Welcome back to Pisces TV with Montana B. This is a reading for the star seeds, my collective Pisces, all of you that resonate or vibe to this video, more for the collective, as there are so many shifts within the planet and the grid and the collective. This is for us, okay? Us is anyone tuning into this video. So as we get started, relax. Take a deep breath. I appreciate your comments on the crystals and the clean-ness of the surface. I still got my checkerboard back there, but I'm vibing with the pastels myself, okay, and the amethyst here. So let's just take a break. Whatever happened today, however you feel, messages for you, advice for you, something to look forward to, because these little babies never disappoint, all right? If you're new to the channel, just so you won't be lost, there's a lot of stuff in the description box, as well as the community board, because you emailed me questions. Check there first, and we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? No promos. Don't want to draw it out too long. Get the cards shuffled up, and here we are. Another week, midway through January. What is the current situation? Oh, okay. This is a lot of situations. So let's go with one card. All right. We have losing your grip. Okay. Bottom of the deck, impetus. All right. Why are you losing your grip, Pisces? Or why do you need to lose your grip? Don't know what this is about. Okay, got two cards here. Earth. Is Earth doing it to us? Is it the Capricorn moon? Possibly. Remember your soul plan, Pisces, star seeds, the fated life and destiny. OMG. And I'm going to shuffle for the advice card, but the void is here. The only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I talked about the void of curse, the moon. Okay? Now I have to look it up and see what's what. And like I said, from my understanding, I thought they were closer to the full moon. I don't know. And I don't like making up stuff, but we'll look into it. But it says stop, embrace, and it says great cosmic womb. I think this is the one. Is this the one? I think so. We'll do one bonus card because that one just called out to me. So one bonus card that we'll save. Set your intentions, whatever you need specifically. Oh my. Okay. I remember fated life versus destiny life. That's coming up again. And I think that's the one, because when I asked for one more, I got 5 cards, and 5s for me are like, wait, okay, so I'll just call them out. Child of the cosmos, birth of the cosmos. I think that's the connection with you and source. We have seeing potential, cool. The blue flame, activation, and lost land, soul memories. Okay. Love that. I immediately thought of Atlantis and all the fun places that we are from. So let's go ahead and get started with the current situation. Losing your grip. Coping mechanisms. Destiny, addiction, let God in is what we have. All right. Now, thankfully, I don't have any really serious addictions. And don't laugh at me, but one of my biggest addictions is shaved ice. And I'll eat cups and cups of it. And I do it when I have anxiety or I'm bored. So some people eat, some people smoke, some people drink. And like I said, it's funny to me, but it's not funny because it's still an addiction and I eat an enormous amount. So I'm no different. I just appreciate that I think I have one of the more healthier addictions, but I still count it, okay? So we have loosen your grip, We're cycle beings, and Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and the seasons. If you're clinging to anything, see, I knew that was going to come up. You're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are so often those we need to let go of. Look, the food, the substances, the relationships, the job, the people pleasing. Now, I don't want to interrupt this beautiful energy, but I also feel that I've explained this in my experiences with Capricorn moons. When I said the purge is, and this is for the collective, doesn't have anything to do with Capricorn moon, because some of you are pretty pleasant and Capricorn moon sources says no, but okay, I just said it could be. However, there's still this energy of it's harder for some than others. The purge is stronger for some than others. And if you ask why, it's that, that gray area of doing the work, not to trigger anyone and say you're not. But usually the things that we purge are the things that we release. So the next time, your cycle comes up or whatever those sessions are called, it's not as hard as the time before if the lesson is learned, if the thing is released, if that part of you is healed. So I did just want to throw that advice out there just from me to you, because I deal with it personally. I've dealt with it. You can't, I don't want to say you can't keep doing it each cycle, but don't think that it's happening to you. You have, a little bit of control in it. And that's from experience. That's not from sources saying, you know what I mean? So anyway, the things we cling to often cover up our vulnerable space, the part we're most afraid to leave empty. The part we guard and don't let grace into, but by keeping that space covered with something that doesn't serve us or clinging to it for fear of it not staying of its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. Now, I learned that lesson with relationships, okay? A course in miracles tells us whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control. See, some of you may have come into this thinking, yes, I'm losing it. But I did feel that counteractive energy of something that that needs to be let go of. And probably because it says loosen your grip. And I thought it said losing your grip. So my bad. But loosening your grip doesn't mean that that what you're clinging to will go away. It may, or it may not. But you can be sure that what is for you will find you. And you'll breathe easier knowing that you've shifted from relying on your own strength to surrendering to the grace of life. Okay? In the center of the reading, when I said, why, what's the connection with loosen your grip? And it says earth. Okay? Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. We're going to read that card. I like earth because we're in this earth. First of all, we're in the earth moon phase. And learning to be human tells me a lot about the judgment, okay, that we put on ourselves and the world around us. And of course, I'm going to say it. We are human beings. Well, we're soul beings living a human experience. So if something is an experience or an experiment, you can't grade yourself on it if you're experiencing, But anyway, the challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world, but not of it. To realize they are souls having a human experience and being fully conscious of it. To have their soul fully embody their body. So getting out of your head, getting out of your heart, getting out of that solar plexus too for some of us, or that root chakra for my, naughty ones. But embodying your full body, right? There are meditations to help you with that. So you want to try that out when you see the light from your toes, tip, top, and then you go through every body part. That was for somebody. Up to the crown. That does help. But it says people's personalities tend to relate to either their transcendence or immanence. Those who lean toward transcendence have a longing for the heavens and the metaphysical, sometimes me. They yearn for a personal experience with God and to be lost in the heavens. They're envious of the angels and are more comfortable praying and hanging out in the stars than on the earth. Okay, not so me. Those who tend toward immanence have attached themselves more to the earth and their body. Also, possible. They spend more time thinking about things in this physical world rather than connecting with the heavens or their own mystical inner worlds. So being a fully embodied soul, having a human experience means finding the balance between transcendence and immanence. Being in the world, but not of it. Most star seeds are drawn toward transcendence. Yep. They're more comfortable with the angels and the heavens. Life on earth can be more difficult for them, right? If this is you, you're being reminded that you chose to be a soul in a body on earth. And you're being called to focus more of your energies in the physical world. So maybe you guys need some of that root chakra that I just talked about to learn how to be human, a soul in a human body, fully present to what life on earth has to offer you. Now, this is so detrimental, especially when dealing with soulmates. Soulmates are people, children, parents, lovers, bosses, people that you may have had past lives with. And look, I talked about judgment. That is in the judgment card. But sometimes we mix those memories, which mixes the feelings. And this earth energy helps to ground reality of what is happening right now. So it's like, I can't stop doing something, even though I know I should, because I love them. And it's like, well, journal, do the pros and cons. How is it helping you this lifetime? You may have had a beautiful relationship last life. Your mother could have been your sister and y'all could have been best friends, but this life, maybe you're supposed to stand up for yourself, or maybe you're supposed to shed some ways that no longer serve you. Same with those lovers, especially with those lovers. Or limited beliefs on finances, since we talk about religion and spirituality with the Buddha, and a lot of you prefer to be in the heavens. It's kind of like they didn't have money there. They didn't have to work. They didn't have careers. And on this place, you do, right? So if you have some funny stuff going on there, you got to revisit those commitments and understand where we are now. Okay? So the last card out, the Void, they really bullied me into accepting it. And so that's cool. I'm a bully sometimes. But, the Void looks just like Perspective. It's just without the shade around it. That's kind of neat. You see that? How it's just like solid. And this one has a few stars and looks like an eyeball. But we have the Void. Okay? Stop, embrace winter. See, this is very significant because we're in winter. Great cosmic womb. Everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb. The fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating. Freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown, to allow the fertile darkness of nothing to nourish the new seeds growing within you. Regardless of whether you know what they'll one day become, you're being called to surrender to the mysteries of what's next, to rest, and to allow the winter of your life to do the work for you. To hand over your control and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface, it doesn't mean things aren't going to work. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us, right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknowable. Now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or phase of life, when we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with. When you're in the void, it can feel scary and as if you shouldn't be doing something. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of your life. Okay? That is what I got. I do hope that it helps, Pisces. Until next time, namaste.